26 years ago, I was diagnosed pre-diabetic. And I got very interested in sugar because I wasn't allowed to have products with sugar in them because my blood sugar levels would skyrocket. And I was really lucky. I went to New York on a conference with my husband, and a lady at the table I was having dinner with commented on my weight because she noticed how much food I ate. And I am a relatively big eater. But she noticed that I was still fairly slim. And she asked me on the third day, how do you stay so slim when you eat so much? And I said, well, if you look at me, if you look at what I'm eating, I'm actually not eating huge quantities. I eat regularly, but I share my sweets with my husband. I only have 2 half glasses of wine. It just looks like I'm eating a lot, but I'm actually not. And she asked me, why do you do this? And I said, because I'm pre-diabetic and I have to watch my sugar levels, which is great. I mean, it wasn't a bad thing. I have to watch my sugar levels. And she said, do you miss sugar? And I said, yes, I do, because I was a huge sweet eater. And that's why that's how I became diabetic, because I developed insulin resistance first, and then I developed pre-diabetes. I mean, it was my fault. I was addicted to sugar. So she then said, oh, I actually have just bought into a company that sells a product called Perfect Sweet Xylitol. And I also have cake mixes that are sugar-free. And I said, oh, I don't really like artificial sweeteners, because at that time, everything was about Splendor or Equal and the artificial sweeteners. And I had already decided at that stage that I wasn't going down that path because I knew enough to know that they weren't good for me. And she said, oh, no, this is not artificial, it's natural. And I said, oh, what is it called? And she told me xylitol. And I said, oh, first thing I said, and this is why I know, gee, that sounds like a chemical. And she said, yeah, it does, but it's not. It's called Perfect Sweet Xylitol. And she had some with her. So she gave me a taste. And I was really surprised. It actually tasted like sugar and looked like sugar. And I was really excited. I thought, oh, that's great. And she said, there and then, would you like to bring that product into Australia? Now, that really took me back because I hadn't thought about going into the food industry. And also, I didn't even know how to send an email. I didn't even know how to use a computer. I knew that the switch on the floor or on the boards was how you switch it on. And I said to her, oh, I don't know that I could do that. She said, of course you can. You can do anything. And I thought, oh, I really like this lady because her thoughts were like mine. Even though I didn't have those qualifications, I thought, why not? Why can't I do this? Of course I can do it. I can do anything. So I couldn't do it that year because my son was in year 12. And I'd made the commitment to my 3 children not to work while they were still at school because I really wanted them to have the best opportunity they could. And I was in a position where I didn't have to work if I didn't want to. So I let it go for another year. I then went back after my son had finished school and met with these people, and they took me to one of their homes and baked the products, and I fell in love. And I could finally have a sweet that was sugar-free and it was flour-free, so it wasn't going to be high carb, because even though a product has a natural sugar-free sweetener in it, it can still have other ingredients that make your blood sugar levels rise, like flour. I mean, flour converts to sugar. That's what it does in the body. And this product had no flour, and it had psyllium husks, and it had whey protein. And I knew enough about the health industry to know that they were good products because I'd researched so much when I developed diabetes 2 or pre-diabetes 2. And so I thought, well, why not? And when I got home, a lot of people said, it won't work. Nobody knows what it is. And I thought, I don't care, because I love this product. It tasted great, and it was a product that I really liked, and I couldn't sell anything that I didn't like. I really love this product. I'm going to find out more about it. So before I took it on, I went to Finland, and I met with Dr. Mäkinen, who's famous for his research studies in xylitol. He did his studies in the 60s. And even though they were mostly to do with tooth decay and gums and in other areas, because xylitol can be used in so many other areas, he still was a wealth of information. And I came away thinking, I can't really find anything that's wrong with this product. I'm going to do it. And so I bought my first packaged lot of xylitol into the country from the American company. When I look back in hindsight, I have no idea what I was thinking, because I knew nothing. I knew nothing about importing, exporting, packaging, sending emails. In hindsight, I can't believe I did it, but I did it. So I hadn't worked for 30 years. So at the same time, I did a part-time course by telephone. I did a business course for 3 years. So I used to work anything up to 15, 16 hours a day, because not only was I learning to send an email and learning the computer, I had a lot of other things to learn as well. So we bought in the first shipment, and a lady rang me from the States to say she was an author and she loved xylitol. And she rang me and asked me, was I interested in putting an ad in a magazine called the Nexus magazine, which was just a little magazine that was Australia-wide that had health products and health articles in it. So I said, fine. So we put together this, we didn't have any money, so we put together this little ad. And I look back, it was so primitive, but we put it in and we sold out. And she needed to have an ad in Australia because she needed to have a supplier, and she was coming here to talk about her book. And in her book, she recommended xylitol. And so we did it. And so then we knew we had a business, but we couldn't afford to bring it in already packaged because it was extremely expensive. Oh, and as I said before, a lot of people said it won't sell. Nobody knows what it is. And I said, it doesn't matter. I don't need to work 7 days a week. And this product is so good for me, and I'm a baby boomer. And I thought it's going to be great for the other baby boomers, because baby boomers were getting interested in their health, and baby boomers thought they were infallible, and they still do. And they were wanting to be healthy. And so I thought, there's my market. I won't worry. I'll just target baby boomers. And so I attended, I can't even begin to tell you how many expos I went to trying to introduce the product. Even naturopaths and dietitians and doctors, nobody knew what it was. The dentists were the only one that knew what xylitol was, but it wasn't being brought into the country at that time. And so we were the first to bring xylitol into the country. And then, because I had a lot of help from the people in New York, they were very encouraging and very helpful, and they were fabulous. They helped me organise to get the xylitol, and we started bringing it in pallets then. It was only 10 pallets or 12 pallets until we became known, and then we started to bring it in 20-ton containers.